name is Luis Baez, and I'm the Trial Bureau Chief here at Galveston Criminal Defense and DWI Attorneys, PLLC. And what I want to talk to you about in this video today is how you can figure out why somebody is in custody at the Galveston County Jail. If you're watching this video, it's probably because someone you know was either just arrested and placed there in the jail or was placed in the jail quite some time ago. And it's not really clear based on the information online what it is that's keeping them there in custody for so long. All of the information that we're going to reference today will be put in the description to this video below. But if you have any questions, feel free to just give us a call and we'd be more than happy to talk to you about this specific situation you're dealing with. Okay, so in a situation like this, step one is going to be go to that website in the description below. That website is an active and updated roster of everybody who's in the jail right now for a criminal case. You can, once you click on the link, scroll to the very bottom. And at the bottom, you'll see something that says something along the lines of filter inmate list. And when you click that link, you can put in the person you're looking for, their first name or their last name. You might have to scroll through a couple of different people with the same name, but eventually you'll find their information. And when you click on their name, what'll happen is it'll take you to a different page that's got their booking photo, as well as some information underneath that photo on what it is that's keeping them there. Most of the time, you'll see something along the lines of the date that they were booked, and you'll also see the name of their charge. So for example, if someone was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, you'll see when they were booked, you'll see the exact level of the case that they're dealing with. And then you'll also see the bond amount, which is really kind of what we're looking for to get an idea of what it is that's going on. Now, most of the time in Galveston County, the way it works is when an officer makes an arrest, he will place a call to the district attorney's office. And that assistant district attorney will say, based on what you're telling me about the case and based on some information on that person's background, they're going to take a pen and some paper and they're going to write down, hey, I think this person's bond should be $30,000. Now, fortunately for whoever's in the jail, there's a process of a magistrate in the jail reviewing the bond amounts. So just because when you look up someone's information, it may show a high bond amount, in all likelihood, that person may end up getting a lower or a different bond at magistration later in the booking process. Now, there's a catch to that. To go to magistration court, it usually takes the next business day. But at the very least, you'll be able to see why it is they're there, what kind of charge they have, and then what their bond amount is. Now, a thing to keep an eye out for is if you see somebody there and you see their bond amount, underneath that, there may also be some terminology or some descriptors for something along the lines of like out of county warrant or hold for Brazoria County or Harris County. And what that should tell you is even if there's a bond amount on their Galveston County case, there might be something there where even if that bond is posted on their behalf, they still have to stay in custody at the jail. It gets a little confusing, but I think if you look at it and you see something along the lines of hold or warrant, you might want to call an attorney. That way they can explain to you what exactly that terminology and what that language means. Because the last thing you want to have happen is you reach out to a bonding company or you post that bond yourself only to find out, hey, sorry you ponied up all that cash, but this person still can't be released from the jail. But at the very least, you'll be able to see why it is they're in there in the first place. Okay, so once you've got that information, the next question is going to be, well, what can I do next? Now, you'll want to call either a bonding company or an attorney, and they can talk to you about the information that you see on the screen and whether or not they would actually be able to be released and given a court date and be able to post bond. And assuming that's the case, then what you're going to want to do after that is figure out if you need, how to visit them in the jail. Now, the last time I went to the jail, they were actually revamping all the procedures on visitation and the hours and when you can visit in person versus visiting over video. And I actually took a couple of the different new documents that lay all this information out. So what we'll do is we'll make it a PDF and we'll put that information in the description below. But the short version is that if you want to do a telephone call or a video call with somebody in the jail, take a look at that PDF and go to the website and the other bits of information that are in there. Now, this warning is on these pieces of paper, but I feel like I need to repeat it here as well for you. Whatever you talk about over the phone and even on the video calls at the jail, all that stuff is being recorded. And it's been my experience like visiting clients who, let's say they were arrested last night, we'll get hired on the case, we'll go visit them. Sometimes clients will say, yeah, my mom called me, my dad called me, or my spouse called me, and I told them what happened. And hopefully what that means is they said, hey, I got arrested, I'm in the jail, can you help me out? Instead of, hey, I told on this recorded line everything I think about the case, everything I think about the arrest to somebody, that might be a problem. So if you are going out of your way to check in on somebody you know at the jail, remind them when you talk to them, hey, this call is being recorded, let's just talk about what we can do to get you out of this situation. Unfortunately, even in-person visits at the jail, unless it's face-to-face and you're back there in one of those cells visiting somebody unsupervised, even those video visits out in the lobby of the jail, those are going to be recorded as well. So again, it's my advice, take a look at that information to figure out how to get in touch with them, but don't really talk about any of the specifics in their case. If you talk to an attorney, they'll be able to go do a visit with that client and then hopefully get some information on what exactly happened and what you can do to fight the charges that are at issue there. Okay, so those were kind of two steps. One is figure out why they're there using the information. And then if you want to contact them, taking a look at the documents that we're going to provide as a part of the description to this video. And then really the last thing I would say is if you're wondering why somebody's in jail and what you can do to get them out, the conversation you need to have is with an attorney. There's going to be a couple of different things that happen in the jail depending on the level of their case, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony. But it's one of those things where if you do Googling or if you talk to somebody who's been through that situation before, you always want to double check what information you're being told and what it is you can do to get them out. Again, it's going to depend on a case-by-case basis, but an attorney will be in the best position to be able to tell you, all right, here's the situation they're looking at, here's what we have to do to be able to bond them out. And then once all that's taken care of, the attorney will also be able to talk to you about, all right, how can we address or fight the charges that the person's dealing with now? So it's one of those things where a lot of information is being thrown at you at once somebody is in custody or has been arrested. But hopefully this video and the information below kind of gives you a good starting point. Check the website, contact an attorney. If you have any questions about any of the different pieces of information we discussed in this video, feel free to give Brian or I a call and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.